Hello, welcome to Content Editor online training for the College of Arts and Sciences standard sites. In this video, you will learn how to resize an image, to float it, and wrap text around it. Our goal today is to use a smaller version of this image and make it float on the left so that the text wraps around it on the right. Occasionally, you may want to resize an image that has already been uploaded to the web server. To do that, be sure that you are both logged in and in edit mode for the page. Once in the page, scroll down to the rich text field and select the image to highlight it. You can see, once it is highlighted, that it now contains boxes that can be used to change the size of the image. Do not use these boxes. As professional web developers, we want to specify exact sizes of our images and use this knowledge to be consistent from page to page. In addition, use of the boxes, even when the corner box is selected, may cause the image to change its width to height ratio, also known as the proportions of the image, which can result in a stretched image. Instead, while hovering over the highlighted image, right-click to get a drop-down menu. Choose Image Properties from that menu. This brings up the Image Properties dialog box. In this box, you see the location of the image on the server and the alternative text on the Image Info tab, and the advisory title for the screen tooltip is on the Advanced tab. These were all given when the image was first uploaded. Although it looks like you can change the alternative text in the advisory title, please be aware that any changes made will not be saved. The image, its alt text, and screen tooltip are stored in the Drupal database, and changes to the database information cannot be made within the Image Properties dialog box. So when a reader views the page, the old alternative text and advisory title will be downloaded again. Thus, any change made here is not permanent. Also, please note on the Image Info tab the fields width, height, border, H-space, V-space, and alignment. These are fields that are no longer used by any browser today, nor any browser less than 5 years old. They are only here to allow Drupal to remain compatible with older versions of Drupal. However, we can use them as a tool to resize an image. Note that when I change the image width, the height changes as well. This is an aid to help us keep the image proportional. It is important to keep the image proportional so that it will display at its best. We can change the proportions by selecting the lock ratio and unlock the set, and then change the width and height separately. However, again, it is not wise to do so. Even if the unproportional image looks good to you, when it arrives on someone else's monitor with a different size and resolution, it will not look good. It is always best to keep an image proportional. So we can reset the image back to original, relock the lock ratio, and change the image size proportionally. It is also important that you only change an image size to make it smaller. Making it larger will cause it to pixelate and look very bad. Again, it will possibly look worse on another computer on monitor than it does on yours. Once you have set the width and height, because these fields are no longer used, Drupal automatically takes the values and enters them on the Advanced tab into the Style field. The values are entered here with a command, space, desired value per command, semicolon, space. Command, space, desired value per command, semicolon, space. Let's select OK to save and see what this does to our actual image. We've done half the job. The image is now smaller. However, we still need to have it float so that the text wraps around it. So let's reopen the Image Properties and go back to the Advanced tab. Back in the Style field, if we want an image to float on the left side of the page, we use the float command. So FLOAT : LEFT semicolon . This makes the image float on the left so that the text wraps around it. But though it wraps, the text will run right smack into the image, so typically we also put a margin. If the image is on the left, we want the margin to be on its right, between the image and the text. So we use a margin right command with a colon and a space. Then we indicate the size of the margin, which is typically 7 or 10 pixels, and we end with a semicolon. The command margin by itself will put space on all 4 sides of an image. So to define only where we want space, we give the direction of the margin. Once done, we select OK to see our image smaller and floating with the text wrapped around it. But we're not done yet. Always remember to scroll down with the far right scroll bar and select the all-important Save button to make your changes live on the web. Please continue with the next lesson to learn how to add videos to your website.